serving the businesses, and you provide services that businesses can use to facilitate their processes and their operations. Now, a lot of people, when you ask them what they enjoy Payaza, we talk about our dashboard, where you can carry out your transactions, where you can see the transactions you've done, you can do all sorts of things, export, your settlements and all that. But there's very little said about the efforts that go behind all of that. And not just within Payaza, but with these businesses as well. The technical people within these businesses who carry out all of the integrations, read all of the API documentations, and plan on how these APIs will be implemented into the systems and eventually facilitate transactions and the operations. And so, in the course of the rebranding and the designing and all of the work, by the way, I'm a product manager, not an engineer, so if you have any technical questions, I'll direct it to somebody else, but that's just on the side. In the course of doing all of this work, we figured out that it was important for us to not just converse and interact with our developers by just providing documentations on our website and our different touch points for developers to gain access to and also carry out these integrations. It's important to get you in a community so that we can actively engage developers, get feedback on how we can make our integration fit here and ensure that the Payaza suite of APIs are attractive to developers out there. And so it is with this that we came up with this particular segment as part of our branding and our launch or our relaunch, as the case may be, to ensure that we're not only carrying the businesses and the SMEs. So yesterday we did the relaunch. This morning we had an event where we invited SMEs from different sectors to come and interact with us, tell us about their problems, hear about our solutions. Some people went away with prizes and all sorts of things. It was a very interesting one. And so we've invited the businesses, we've told the businesses about Payaza and how Payaza and how it digitize the process. So these businesses will go ahead, sign up on Payaza, use our dashboard. But then, whilst we were having this conversation, so the businesses said, we already have, they really don't have the people in-house to help with several integrations we need to run digital payments and all of that. And so, of course, that conversation ended there, and then we're continuing here to interact with developers. How many people came with their laptops? Before we just want to make sure that we can structure it in such a way that how many of us, so I know in the invites, so we're told about, so if you came with your laptop, please, show of hands, holding challenge our hands, so please, a show of hands, how many people came with their laptops? So that's majority, structure it in such a way that majority them. Okay, so if you came with your laptop, please, show of hands, and just to get a little bit more about the developer circle. Maybe take some few comments here and there before I get in. Thank you. So next part. I'll just talk a little bit about Payaza. So Payaza, and just talk a little bit more about the developer circle. Maybe take some few comments here and there before I then invite my colleague to take the next part of this event. So Payaza, payment gateway, operations, such as giving them a storefront, facilitating their logistics, and ensuring that all around everything that's involved, or all the processes that are included in the operation of an SME, we try to cover as much as possible within Payaza. And so beyond facilitating their logistics and ensuring that all around everything that's involved, or all the processes that are included in the operation of an SME, we try to cover as much as possible within Payaza. And so beyond billing, the payment gateway and the service provider, we have interest for our businesses in that. Payaza currently exists in 19 countries, actively expanding. In Africa, our footprint month to month has been expanding since January, and we are going to continue doing that. We've also done this in such a way that a business that exists in Nigeria and who wants to expand to a different country and all that, do not have the problems of having to start a registration and sign out verifications afresh, or have a real through which you can pass through and start operations in these countries, as long as, of course, you're a registered business there. Beyond this, Payaza is licensed by ISO. We have several ISO certifications, certified by NISTA and PCI DSS as well. Currently, we are a partner with Visa as a payments facilitator. There are just so many things that we've been doing in the past couple of months that's been very, very interesting and can help us expand quickly. That's Payaza, right? We're able to help businesses collect foreign currency, local currency through transfers, cards, local money, USSD. Businesses are also able to carry out single and bulk payouts through our account and our APIs as well. Several bank partnerships, third-party processors that help us facilitate our transactions, and all of this we put together in a suite as a solution for SMEs and businesses at large. That's who Payaza is. And now we're expanding who we are to our developers and the technical people who integrate with Payaza APIs. We're bringing ourselves in your face. We want to be criticized. We want you to use our system. Let us know where we have gaps. Let us know where we can add more things. Let us know what we need to optimize to ensure that moving forward, we are able to better perform even at your jobs and your businesses whilst using Payaza, right? So that's a brief introduction of who Payaza is. Then, of course, the Developer Circle, which I already talked about, this will be an ongoing thing. It's not just going to be one event. We're going to have to maintain the community of our developers to interact with you, get your feedback, have conversations beyond just the use of APIs, but of course, when we want to say we have recruitment and all of that, we don't need to look outside our immediate community and always interact with you at that level and so on. And so please feel free, course of the day, to enjoy yourself, interact with each other. I know that I think there's a stereotype around developers that most developers are introverts. But then, I don't know, I feel like introverts interact better with each other when they're in the same place. I don't know if, so when a bunch of introverts find out that they are introverts in the same place, things begin to kick off. So I'm expecting the same thing to happen here. Most of us are, right now, I'm kind of on the spot as well. I usually would not do this, stand in front of people and speak, but we're making it work today, and I hope that we can all interact as well with each other, interact with ourselves, share ideas, interact with the Payaza staff. If you have any questions, about our operations, our technology, feel free to engage the Payaza staff. And I must say, everyone has been very beautiful today, both the men, the women, the boys and girls and all those. So please put your hands together. Alright, thank you very much. So without further delays, I'll invite my colleague to walk us through the Payaza platform and demonstrate some of our features. So this will be carried out by my colleague, Adeliji, who is our integrations team lead. We will, at the end of this, hopefully, we'll all understand what we have ready for our businesses and our developers. And without wasting more time, I'll invite Adeliji. Please give him a round of applause as he comes.
Thanks, I'm Adeliji Payaza. Clients who want to understand their business, how best they can integrate with your APIs. I ran one time in November last year. I think that's been the hardest I've ever had to do. I had 6 lectures. different engineers. Indians, they don't understand English. So they go to the documentation page. You jump on the call, I don't know what's going on here. Like they'll just type it here. And then let's jump on the let's see. I'll say something. You say, can you type it? I'll type. You pick it up, you translate. You send it on WhatsApp, translate in English, and you know how it is when you try to translate from English to another language. You just see from here something. And the only thing they understand is yes, ASAP. So when I say that, after I said ASAP, ASAP. It was really tiring. I think that's one of the hardest bit of integrations I've done, right? But the following integration was done by a Nigerian person. I don't know, I'm not going to change this. So when I got on the call, I mentioned his name. I think I sounded Nigerian. Nigga, how far am I? What's going on? Like, I'm happy to talk to you. You can try talking in pidgin. Leave integration first. Let me relate to someone. Let me interact, right? So I understand that API integrating with people could be stressful because you have to understand what the business is bringing and then what APIs you have already available. So I'm going to start now. So if you So I'm not going to speak too much on this, right? So because of time, we are going to have like a technical diamond, right? This is just so basically, Payaza, we have APIs for collections, payouts, and then collections could be, could be cards, could be transfers, right? And we have these APIs, and they are plug and play. And the way we've done our APIs is it's like one for all, right? I've gone through different documentations, right? Where for you to integrate with Cote d'Ivoire, you have to change your payload. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, you have to change your payload, you have to change your authorization, either you have to tweak something. No, we don't do that here at Payaza. Yeah, so I'll pick our payout APIs for instance. Yeah, so for our payouts across, at least we are like more than 10 countries right now in Africa with payouts, right? All you have to do is change your country, the parameter country, and then currency, and that's all. Your key is still the same, your pin is still the same. It's quite easy, right? We are not trying to expand to more countries, and all I have to tell my the engineers or the merchant engineer, okay, chief, this is available now. What do you have to do? Just pass your ISO code. That's the three value. Like, okay, for Nigeria you have the MGA, for Cote d'Ivoire you have the CIV, for Tanzania you have the TZA. So just change, it's the same. So we think of our developers. I think we are developer centric here. We think of them, okay, how can we best assist you? So I remember one time recently where one of the developers I was working with, like, why don't you have this thing here? That one is stressful. I have to call this API, then get to this API. Okay, that's a smart one. Yeah, so I just called my PM. Hey, what's up? Can we do this? Of course, it's possible. And then I reach out to the engineer. How long will this take me? 2 days. Of course, I know how it is now. 2 days, engineers, he would have to test, kick back and talk. So I just told the guy, just give me 4 days, and then we deliver. So that's one of the plus of using Payaza APIs. You can also, chip in. You can request, and then with something we can work with, we provide that to you. Seamless transaction. We have the integration support, which I'm part of, right? That will always assist you to check if your API calls or why you're having maybe 500 or 201 or 202 or 3 or 401 and all. So so Payaza leads in digital finance, right? Innovation with a secure, scalable in the sense that the same API, maybe the number of customers a particular business have is like let's say 10, and then there is some chain of companies everywhere. They are using the same APIs. Like you don't have to okay, what if I have just 2 people still system. What if I have 20,000? Those APIs will scale, right? Tested and trusted. Thank you. Okay. So like I've been talking about these APIs capacities, right? So for all the APIs call you make, you can also monitor on our platform, right? On our dashboard. But I'm not yet to speak to people that are concerned with dashboard, right? We're yet to speak about APIs. So let me see again. Okay, so for our payouts now, we have four APIs. Simple. It's not like okay, to create an account, to change PIN, to check if this transaction is going to refine. No, we won't do that one for you. So the first one is just okay. What can I do? Before you can ever make a transfer, you must have done something now. You must have created your business right on Payaza, right? Then all you have to do is okay, fetch the view Payaza account details. What will this provide you? It's going to give you the balance. It's going to give you the account to fund for Nigerian payouts. It's going to give you the account to fund. It's going to give you the account reference which you are going to use to trigger a transfer. Right? Very simple. Okay, what's the next thing I have to do? Name account name inquiry. What do I have to do? Well, I have to send to Apan. But I know his Apan. I know that's his number. But I just want to confirm, double check. What you have to do is just call the bank code and the what's the word now? The account number, and then there's a validation that yes, this is Apan Chukumba. Okay, yes, thank you. So we always advise our engineers or maintenance engineers to try as much as possible to just try to do the validation before they initiate the payout, because sometimes stories can touch. Because I think there been a case whereby a particular person was not using the validation. I don't know how. The account number exists in another account, in another bank entirely, and then it went through, and then, you have this API, always use it, because some people learn from mistakes, right? But it's money, please, so try to always do the necessary things. Then for the initiate transfer, straight up, you already know the APIs, the amount you want to send, the person you are sending to, and all, and then you have the TSQ. Very simple. I'm sure maybe how many of you have tried to do a payout before, integrate to maybe a payout platform before? Okay, so how many APIs do you have to integrate with for that to work? Share with us. No, this is a gathering, this is a circle. We are not meant to sit in circle. So let's second mic.
Okay, good evening everyone. I'm Anyone John. So, do I have to call the company?
No.
So to pay out, you have to first you have to get the account details of the person, and you have to just debit your own account. You have to from whoever the business that owns it, the business or the company that owns it, you have to just remove from it and then just add into.
So that's so
yes, okay. One to get the account details. But what I integrated with SDK, so you don't they just
SDK is plug and play now.
Yes.
Those are
so but behind it you call one API for getting the account details. Then you subtract it and then confirm by just putting it the other way.
That's already a lot. Thank you very much for sharing. What's your name again, please?
John.
I have a John in the house now. He's so unserious. I hope you're a serious one. Okay, so moving on to the next. I don't want to, of course, there are a lot of things to say here. Scalable, enhanced application functionality, comprehensive support. I'm sure, of course, as you can see, I'm a very supporting person. So we are trying to integrate with Payaza. We always still on, of course, business first. But then it will be why is this not working? We'll try to, manage, let's see, the bug. I'm always ready. I remember the one time there was a merchant in Ghana was trying to use our WordPress plugin. I think it's at like 50. You know when you're trying to talk with this guy, 60, like he has been in text since before I was born, yeah? I was like, what's going on? Like, you know what? Let's jump on the call. And I had my developer, the one that worked on our plugin, right? And we're on the call from like 2 to 4. So that's AMO. So you can always call us at any point in time. We'll set up a meeting. We'll drive and you're not meant to drive and set up a meeting, but yes, I've been driving and then be helping you guys out. Alright, so secure transaction handling. We are going to get to security very soon after this when we do the dive in. And then authentication and user management. Of course, we have PCI DSS compliance. I don't have to dwell on that. I hope you know what PCI DSS is, right? We're all familiar with these things. Please, I hope I'm speaking to developers in the house. We're developers, we are cold now. What can we do? Am I a boring person? I don't know if I'm doing this well. So yeah. So we have the integration workshop. So when you visit our documentation page, right, we have a flow. There's we try as much as possible because I just started this tech journey recently, right? And I like stories, as you can see. So I try to pick it up. Okay, what if someone that just started like me, maybe an intern is trying to integrate? How will the person understand the workflow? So there's always like I go over this thing alone a lot. So just make it easier. Even if my grandmother is trying to integrate, okay, what is this? What is this parameter? What does it do? Is it compulsory? Right? Is it required? Is it optional? Like, okay, what is the value? Okay, can you give me an example? So we've gone through all these things, right? And I can tell you, the 2 people who can integrate with our APIs. So for authentication, right? You have to encode. Let me just go to something here. It's not like not too much grammar. Just go to your dashboard, pick out your keys, encode it in base 64. I hope we all can encode our keys. Like then the authorization, just Payaza, of course, Payaza must be there. Then your encoded key, and you are good to go. You can call any API you want at any point in time, randomly. So I think and then webhook. And I know we are all concerned about webhooks, but for most of the developers I've seen, I don't know, I have a question. You've integrated, you have a webhook URL, but they are always concerned about a TSQ. I know this webhook is from you, but they will always want to check. Why do we have doubts is it in Nigeria? Is it a Nigerian thing that we don't always want to believe the webhook at first glance, that we have to always double check? So I'm going to give the mic to someone to please tell me why having a TSQ is still most important. Don't talk to us. What's your name? What? Divine. Divine doesn't want to talk to us. Why? You have a Divine in the house now, and he's a talkative. So please don't fall his hand. Just give us something. Why do you think TSQ is very important, even after getting a webhook? You don't have an idea? Okay, no problem. So who can help us here, please? We don't want to talk. I'll be calling you so. I know your name. Please, I'm noting people that are talking. There could probably be something from me. Okay, I think, so webhook, of course. So for collections, you get a webhook. For your payout, you get a webhook for either a successful or a failed transaction. So moving on to the next one. Okay, we're about to have the technical diving where we're going to speak more into how our APIs are constructed. I'm looking for my colleagues. Please, thank you very much. So, do you have any, no questions yet, of course. This is just like an overview, because I can see Divine actually serious. He's already asking 1 or 2 questions on Google there. Don't worry, I will not be shamed. Please, yes. Sorry, a minute, please. So, can you imagine? He's seated here. Hey! So, welcome on stage with me, Kehinde Omotoso, Payaza Technical
team lead, Payaza Platforms.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. So, let's talk about APIs and devs. You have been hearing a lot of English and grammar, and you're wondering, okay, when are we going to really get into this? So yeah, we have some couple of fantastic APIs for you. And please, disclaimer, the conversation we are going to have now is going to lead into the developer challenge, right? So I would advise that we try as much as possible to pay attention to understand the API processes and understand what you need to do during the deep dive exercise. Yeah. So, what is the need for seamless collections and payouts? How many developers here have built a website for a customer before? Please let me say yeah. Just few of us. Oh, nice. How many of us are front end? Back end? Full stack? Oh, interesting. So, in the process of building websites or web apps for customers, we mostly have come across the request to add a payment to that application. Is that right? Yeah. So what Payaza is offering is actually beyond collections. We are offering you the ability to actually integrate a secured and robust collection and payment solution into your application. What do I mean by collections and payments? Payaza offers API as a service, meaning that you as a business or you as an engineer, you can actually add more payment features to your applications. It could be mobile, it could be web, it could be anything. This segment of discussion is going to be focused on developers only. So, what do you need to do to actually integrate into the Payaza platform's payment solution? The first thing, of course, is to register at Payaza.Africa to verify and begin your own account. So it means if you're actually integrating for a business, you need to collect their documents and all of that, or get them to create an account on Payaza.Africa. Complete the registration and onboarding process, and then immediately you get your API keys and all of that. After completing the first step, you have access to the API documentation and resources page. We are going to get into that, and then you can implement and begin your integration. This is an example of the Payaza developer page. You can reach this at docs.payaza.africa. The Payaza developer page is focused on what is needed or what is necessary for your integration. When you open a lot of documentation websites, you see a lot of things to read. You keep scrolling, you keep reading, one link leads to the other, and then you continue to click. But on the Payaza documentation page, everything has been segmented and categorized according to what you need. The guide, the making payments, the receiving payments, and then the libraries. For every integration you are doing, there is always an authentication stage, which is being described here. Please note, during your exercise, you are going to actually get a pre-registered business so that that does not consume your time. You get a pre-registered business with a merchant key, And that merchant key is what we will be using to complete our integrations, our tests, and all of that. So today we are going to be integrating into the Payaza collection and Payaza payouts APIs. For every collection that you do, you get a webhook. You can also provide a callback URL to come back to your page after you have completed your payment. For every payout you also do, you get a webhook. How many of us understand what a webhook is? Okay. Now, let's talk about the authorization phase, which is also part of the authentication. Adedeji, please go.
Hello. Okay. This is a screenshot from some of the common errors, right, and the possible solutions on our documentation page, right? And like I was explaining the other time, authorization failed. This is from the header. There was something wrong with authorization. Probably when you're trying to copy your keys, your Payaza API keys, and then you pasted probably using some of this online based converter, and then maybe there was an extra space. So you need to take note of all these things, maybe an extra space, a full stop, you're not aware of where you're trying to pick it up, especially when maybe someone says to you and just double tap, right? So when you paste it, it's going to return this. Or there are different ways. This could be you're not adding your prefix, which is the Payaza, like I mentioned earlier. Sorry. Yeah, so this is the solution. For most of these common errors that we always maybe merchants have complained about, this is not working, what's wrong with the system, my keys are not working, I'm getting authorization failed. Okay, Shaman, can you, because sometimes you ask them to, maybe share their request body, and then they are sharing something from the documentation page. Okay, can we just jump on the call? Can you share your screen? No, this is not looking. This is Payaza. What is this you're writing? So some of these things. So from common errors or common problems, developers are bad. Preferred solution. This is just one of them. Okay, like this one now. Okay, they're like two different ones. So probably because our API, like I said, is one for all. So you can use the same API for a single transfer and a bulk transfer. So at the top, you have the total payout amount. Let's assume I want to send to, where's John? Okay, John and David, right? And I want to send them, let's say 50K each. Then I'm putting 50K as the total sum up, which is the payout amount. And then for each of them, I'm putting 50K. Of course, that will not work now. Are you trying to scam us? So that's where you get errors like this, like, your credit amount, what you are trying to credit these two guys is more than what you are putting in the total, so please just work things out. So that's when you get this. Or even they're trying to do just one single transfer, and then the payout amount is 100 naira and the credit amount is 200. You get this error. And then the next one is transaction reference. Of course, we all know what transaction reference is. Like, it's the unique identifier for a particular transaction. It has to be unique, because if not, the system is going to malfunction. So we'll just tell you, please kindly provide a clean or a new or a unique transaction reference. So this is straightforward. Is there any question on this, please? I hope we are all enjoying ourselves, because I can't hear you, please. What's your name over there? Yes, you. Fortune. Fortune. No, we don't have that in my house. Well, nice meeting you. I don't know anything. Alright, so, this and that one, when you're trying to do a transaction status query, right? You're trying to check for a transaction, and it's cool. I always have issues. So there was this merchant, the guy called me. it was on a group, when you have top management. I was like, yeah, your API is not working again. And then my CEO is there, my CFO is there, my CTO is there. I'm like, when I get a query, okay, what's going on? What's the issue? Can you tell me the business? Yeah, can you just give me your business and then the transaction reference? He did. I went to check. This transaction doesn't exist now, okay? He said, no, I don't know what I'm talking about. This is. Yeah. Then I had to it's copied what I saw from our logs and share with him. It was tiny. Probably A to Q. It was just tiny. But please always see our API is always well. We have the best guys in the house. Shout out to all the Payaza engineers here. You can't clap for yourselves here. So please, when you have an error like this, transaction not found, just ensure or make sure that you are passing the right references. Or maybe in case in time, maybe you are trying to integrate two different merchants, right? And then you are using one person's key to check another person's transaction. Of course, that will fail because that is not on that particular merchant. Okay, so this is the body for this was what I was trying to explain earlier. This is the body for our initiative transfer, right? It is readily available in Java, Node, Python, PHP. These are just languages we feel that most backend guys will use. If you know, maybe there's another language that is not here, please you can tell me so I can add it here. And then, which other language do you use that is not here? Like, which other language do you think a lot of people or a lot of developers, backend particularly use that is not here, please? What? What's it? ASP.NET. Please, Emmanuel, take notes. ASP.NET. We're adding it to the documentation snippet. Thank you very much for that. So this is Python. I'm sure if you click on Node, you get something different than Java as well. Yes? Please, one house now. Sure. Yeah, it's done. Share with me now. Do you have a feedback already? Okay. So, transaction type, service period. If you get to our documentation page, all these things are explained. So I'll just brush through this. So for this transaction type, in Nigeria, we use mobile, right? I think Nigeria is like the only country that doesn't really count mobile money as something serious. But if you go to Ghana, Uganda, Tanzania, Cote d'Ivoire, what's the other one? Benin, yeah? We have, instead of mobile, we have mobile money. Easy, so you don't have to stress yourself. Mobile money, right? And then for Ghana, I think they are banks. We use NIPS, they use something like chips, yes? And for Kenya, it's KEPS. So all these things, if you are transferring to a bank in Ghana, all you have to do is just pass chips. And then if it's mobile money is mobile money anyway. And then the account reference. Let me just touch base on this. I'm sure there are some banks we have more than one account on. Maybe I'm trying to do a transfer. Okay, like me, when I went to serve, I was using an Access Bank before, and they're telling me that no, I can't use that particular account. I have to open a new one, right? A solo something. So I opened the account here. So I have two Access Bank accounts. So I want to do a payout, I want to do a transfer. Access Bank will be like, where do you want to send from, right? So this is what the account reference do. Yeah, this one. So the account reference is tied to a particular currency. So you already know where you are trying to pay out to. Most of this is one for easier identification. This is for NGN. For Ghana, it is 301. For Uganda, 601, 701. That's really very unique. So you just by the account reference, you already know that I'm trying to do a payout to a particular country. This is what I was explaining earlier before: the payout amount and then the credit amount. This is a single transfer. So for another one, all you have to do is just pass another object. Okay, now this is the response. Very easy. Straight up. 200, 09, payout, the time, and this. And then you get your response on your webhook. I'm not sure I did this slide for the webhook so you see how it looks. But I think we'll still dive into that later. I hope this is easy, right? You just know it's easy, direct. Okay. I forgot this. So we always also have a public postman collection. You can just go on your phone right now on your system. Just search Payaza postman. You be sent directly to this, and then this will give you like most of our breakdown. We have transfers, virtual accounts, card collections, instant collection and payouts, domain links, sub accounts, virtual cards, virtual gift cards, branches. So, do you have any question here?
The raffle draw we had this morning, right? We could have set up, okay, everybody that is participating, register, put your account number and all of that. And in your API, in your application, you click on the raffle draw, and whoever the thing picks, there is an automatic payout into that person's account. That's just a simple example from what happens this morning. I hope somebody creates that product and then you set up an automatic raffle system. So when you get a Payaza account, either as a sub-account or as a main account, you can transfer outwardly. And it doesn't stop there. It gets interesting because you can actually transfer outside of Nigeria to other countries. That is what makes it fun. And also, our card collections is international. You can collect payments in any currency that you want. Why? Because Payaza exists in all of these countries. You can collect your money in dollars, you can collect your money in pounds, you can collect your money in naira, Kenya shilling, and the rest. Are we good? Okay, Adedeji, please go.
Yes.
Okay, so Adedeji, please, how do we get here?
Okay, there are two ways to get there. Just go to docs.payaza.africa.
That is too much to type.
Just go to payaza.africa.
Thank you.
Right. Click on there. Right. Wow, this is good. Then developers.
That's a faster way. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So when you go to the Payaza.Africa, you click on the developer, and then on the top right hand side, you can click on that button to go to the developer API. Now, on the left side of the screen, you are going to see a lot of things going on there. And from that list, you can actually pick any of the APIs you want to integrate to. And there is a very good and well explained guide on how to do so. So that is how we get to the developer page. Thank you, Adedeji. So let's sign in into the account.
That was not something.
Yes, please do. Not that please. Okay. So when you go to payaza.africa and you click on the login, you arrive at this page. You enter your username and your password, believing that you or your customer have already registered on the platform. Click on the login. So after logging in, on the left hand side, sorry, this screen is blocked a bit. But then on the left hand side, you have the sidebar, which is your menu. And on that sidebar, you can actually click on the category. There's a category to make payments, which includes your Payaza account, your transfers, your sub accounts, then your saved beneficiaries. Everything you are doing on the API level is also visible on the dashboard. When you use your API to do a payout, you see the record on the dashboard. When you use your API to do a card collection in dollars, in pounds, in Kenya shilling, you also see the record on the dashboard. Then, when you click on the settings and you go to API and webhook, this is where you set up your webhooks, then you copy your API keys, then you generate a new API key. So, I would skip. Abdulmajid, are you in the house? So, let us give a round of applause to Abdulmajid while he comes to talk about the API security. So, Abdulmajid is actually a member of our infrastructure team. So we know when they say our API, when they said our API is always available. These are the guys responsible for that. A round of applause for him.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you are having a very wonderful night. So I'm going to discuss briefly about our API security. So we have an API gateway integrated with a web application firewall. This helps us enhance security by centralizing authentication, authorization, and traffic encryption, while also implementing rate limiting, request validation, and IP whitelisting. So I'm going to speak more about rate limiting and some other security features we have. So for rate limiting, we don't want people to have bots overwhelm our system. So we have rate limiting to help say that okay, from you, only want 10 APIs from you, 10 API calls per second from you. From another person to be 20 depending on the use case. IP whitelisting ensures that okay, we don't want bad actors to enter our system. So we only leave it to okay, we are integrating with you, give us your IP and then we work well with you. And then I'm also going to speak briefly about our certifications. Like as has been said earlier, we have multiple ISO certification, International System Organization, PCI DSS for data collections, as well as NDPA, which ensures that your privacy and your data is well secured within our systems. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abdul Majid. You know, in all of the history of security, those guys don't talk too much. If it is a bounce, I will just tell you, go back, step back. If you can enter, you just do enter. Why? Because anything that is beyond go back and enter, you will collect. Thank you, Abdul Majid. So, success stories. Adedeji. Thank you.
So these are some of our lectures that have integrated, and some just do their things on the dashboard. This Farida A, you can read it since switching to Payaza. This is AJ Treats. This is Awa Saleh, and this is Kira Fabrics. Just a few, right? Just to share their experience with us. So you can read customers trust is paramount. You know, their support team was incredibly helpful. Yes, that's the CX team, was also the integration team. Thank you. And then, as a small business, like I was saying, we are scalable. Our APIs are scalable. It's small, large, medium, extra big like me. And so customers trust is paramount to for us. And Payaza transport. Of course, I will tell you if something is done. I will tell you. So it was story with him. So yesterday, during our rebranding, I got a call from one of our merchants that was admin, and was saying one of our APIs was giving him an error, contact Payaza support. And then when I tested on my end, right, because I will always love to create the issue before I escalate to the back end guys and front end guys to understand the ground, to grasp the issue. It was working for me. Like, you know what? And then sometimes some engineers will not copy or pass the thing appropriately. So I tried to export from my postman to give it, and it worked. Okay, that's interesting. So what is wrong with your own request? Then if I had it again, it worked. Or like maybe I was trying to think, or like just reading out what's happened. Then probably the CTO or the founder was like, what nonsense is this? What's going on here? The APIs are not working. Then I totally forgot that we were rebranding and there are some deployments by my guys. Okay, Oga boss, no vexo. I don't forget to say this thing they happen. So just pardon us for this period. Like I'm sure they are good now because they have not called me. My phone has been on silent. Trust me, they're always calling me. Right? So we are totally transparent. You call us and tell you that this is not available. Pipeline. We'll give you ETA. If I say tomorrow might be tomorrow. But then, of course, we're always transparent. You can always reach out to me, I'll tell you the truth. But don't reach out to why are you hiding now? I'm not calling this thing. I Alright, so far so good. We've been talking and would love to hear from you. Right. So before we get into this, I would love to we have a coding challenge now. And I have I think less than 2 months experience in tech. So if I'm the one meant to judge you, I'll take home the money. So that's why we try to bring in guys that are transparent, that are accountable, that are fast. Seeing our core values. Let me just stop here. So in no particular order, I would love to introduce them and then they could probably just tell us a little about themselves. So the first person here on my list is Ifedako Lawal. Ifedola Lawal. Ifedola Lawal.
Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Ifedola Lawal. I'm the founder of Oyster. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Oyster. I can remember the integration. Oyster. Jump up. That guy was stressful. I'll share the story now. Don't worry. So that was October 7th. Yes, I always put a date. I was in the village enjoying myself. So one of my best uncles just died. And village rice, enjoying, living. It was even waking. And then it's jump on him I can remember. On the Skype group, of course, my CTO is always on most of this. Your webbook is not working. Before I know, group call Skype and then group call on Skype will call everybody. I go, my CTO is here, let me jump. I just jump. 3 of them. What's going on? I'm not getting notification. I'm not. Let's calm down. Can you give me like 5 minutes? I'm eating rice. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll eat the rice and I'll get back home and then I'll do this. And then when I was ready, we had a meeting and we discovered that, okay, kindly note, you must ensure your webbook URL accept post request, right? I think that was blocker. It's not that hard. But I wish I could have given John Paul my rice, but it's alright. You see, I'm not lying, you see. You can see I'm very beautiful. So the next person on my list, hey, don't look at me. Obina Ayao.
Hi everyone, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Obina and I lead the front-end team here at Payaza.
Right. So the next person here, Mayowa Afel Ogundele, my boss.
Hello everyone, my name is Maya Okem. I lead the engineering team at Payaza. Thank you.
Alright, thank you very much, guys. So, we'll take your questions shortly, like right now. But I just want to put this in the air. So, for the coding challenge, we need to display the merchant fee, and then we're going to integrate with payouts. We're going to the payout page will also be available. Please do not pay out 20 million to yourself or we're going to say their accounts to like maybe I think 20k, 100k. So if you face the error, I want you to face some error so you understand how it works. Please do not send more than 1,000 to yourself or okay. I know 1,000 naira, not USD. Divide. Stop looking at me. Alright, so to the next one, which is our switch. Okay. Because I know what's there. So the next one, we would love to hear some of your experiences, right? And if you are, maybe some of you are here and then integrated to the Payaza APIs before, would like to hear from you how hard it was, or to some other payments each week, right? So I think we are meant to interact, and we are just, I'm going to scatter people now. Like I'm going to scatter people now very soon. Francisca, thank you. So Do you want to share your experience, or maybe you have questions from what you've seen? You must have questions. I mean, oh, that's true. I'm a teacher by profession. I used to teach mathematics when I was growing up. I love mathematics, yeah? So you can always call me if you need any help at all. So, any questions so far? If there's no question,